We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
TJ Cleveland.
We baked you a birthday cake. If you get a tummy ache and you moan and groan and woe, don't forget we told you so. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
TJ Cleveland.
Now from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
TJ Cleveland. TJ Cleveland. TJ Cleveland.
Aloha, Mr. Hahn.
I am so totally turned on right now I could spit.
I hear ya.
Okay.
And welcome in everybody to Sports Daily. Max with the magic for a happy birthday to TJ Cleveland today.
We couldn't have pulled off the Hawaiian shirt.
Absolutely
bury the lead.
I just knew you were going to show up in a Hawaiian for your birthday. Fun hating even on the big day is TJ Cleveland. I'm Jacob Albrock. Thanks to Max Power for that gem and for producing things for us today. You can get in touch with us at 869-1240. Max is manning that hotline. We've got your video streams open, Facebook, YouTube, X. Your comments can go there. Thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected. You can also leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app. We will have a big show for you today. Team USA falls to the Italian Royals last night, an Italian team full of either current or former Kansas City Royals, and we'll get you the implications of that. K-State season is over. Now the search for a coach, which, according to one report, could come as soon as this week, an announcement begins for K-State basketball and its future. We'll dig into the latest there. We will dig into what's coming still for KU and Wichita State, who have not begun their postseasons just yet. And we'll get you the latest in what's been a wild and crazy NFL free agency before free agency actually officially begins. Yeah. It's all coming up for you. What's on tap? Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company. Now featuring the seasonal release, Lazy McCafferty, the beer packed with malty specialty grains that you love in an Irish red ale, but it's light enough to put you on your kilt and have you singing from the tabletops all night long. Lazy McCafferty, Irish Red Ale, now available at Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. Happy birthday, TJ. How are you?
Hey, thanks. I'm feeling old. Should we open up the phone line? Should we give away some HTO for the person that first guesses my age? I feel like
we could do that
throughout the years. Throughout the years of working at KWICH, especially, it's always been a running bit whenever the new people come in the newsroom and have to guess how old I am, because usually nobody gets it right on the first try. I can't remember if I've said how old I am on the show or not. So,
I could guess. Well, I won't give it away. I suppose.
You probably know the answer,
huh?
You probably know it. You have a better grasp than most people.
I'll have a better grasp of it. It's interesting. You're in the same position I was a lifetime ago, where like you start and you're way younger than anybody realizes. Yeah, a child. And then that gets away from you a little bit. And then the cycle happens. You're like, oh, man, when did that happen? And then everybody else coming in, you're like, God, they're so young. Yeah. But it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. But we can do that. If you want to guess TJ's age, take a swing at it. You can do that in the video comments. You can call in and you can give him a hard time. It is a birthday. It's a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. We're happy to be here for it. Kevin Saul joining us in just a little bit over the phone lines. We'll also have Shreyas Laddha in the second hour. So we have We have all kinds of good stuff coming for you here on the show today. As we're almost there. Can you imagine the buzz this time next week? We'll be through Selection Sunday. We'll be doing play-in games. I got to tell you, Team USA was a curveball for me last night. Did not see that coming, and now we have this World Baseball Classic be locked into Italy versus Mexico tonight.
Okay, you know where that one is streaming?
No. God.
How about Tubi? You got Tubi?
I don't know. Is Tubi free? Maybe. Do we have Tubi? Is Tubi a thing we have?
I don't think I've ever in my life turned on Tubi. I have no idea.
I don't know Tubi. I've heard of it. When I just browse around here, I don't think I have Tubi.
I think that's like I don't know what the heck that is, honestly.
It's probably like all of them. It's, everything's got to have Roku, Tubi, Pluto. Like what? I don't know what all these are. We'll find it, and we'll keep up with it one way or the other because Team USA needs a little help now from Mexico. I wonder if Cal Raleigh regrets not giving a handshake to Randy Arozarena now.
No. I think you're backwards. We need the Italians to win, don't we?
Well, you need the Italians to win. I'm not sure. I think,
but not by too much.
That's the easy outcome. So here's what happened: Team USA loses to Team Italy 8-6 last night, and all of a sudden, you've got a little danger of Team USA not making it to the elimination round. Tiebreakers go to runs allowed, which is not good for Team USA. So Team USA needs either Italy to win, which I'm almost certain Mexico will be favored tonight, or if Mexico wins, we need Mexico to score 5 runs or more. If Mexico wins and only scores 4 runs or fewer, we're out. So, look, Italy winning is the easy answer and probably the one easiest to root for because of all the Royals, I suppose. But if Mexico wins, we need Mexico to hit the ball, to score some runs. And I would say the chances are pretty good. I mean, Italy surely used all its best arms against us last night. But, what happens if Mexico's up 4-0 in the ninth? And Randy Arozarena steps up to the plate. Little gamesmanship.
Yeah, maybe.
You better hope that doesn't happen, Cal Raleigh.
My viewing experience yesterday was I had my TV on at my desk at work, flipped it on. I'm like, oh, they're playing Italy, the Cags and Vinny. I'm going to go watch them. And I turned it on just in time to see the Cags homer. I'm like, oh, that was sick. And then I looked at the scoreboard and I'm like, surely that cut into a big deficit for Team Italy. Like, no, they're up 5-0. What is going on?
Yeah. What do you think that's like too? I mean, obviously you're playing, you want to win the game you're playing, but if you're like Vinny or Cags and you're doing this because of heritage and for fun and all this stuff, like what if you do that though and you accidentally eliminate Team USA? Do you feel bad about that?
The best part about it, somebody made the point, is that like all of the Italian players are just Italian heritage players. Like there's nobody that's like Italian. So every single player on Team Italy could play for Team USA and didn't get selected. So basically, this is the JV team of Team USA that just scored 8 runs on you and beat you up a little bit.
Yeah, and that happens in baseball. That's why the format is tough for anything for baseball is to do like, and they're not to elimination yet. So we'll see if they get some help.
So did you see Mark DeRosa's comments? The side story of this? That's a whole segment we're going to spend on this. I guarantee it. He went on MLB Central yesterday, this show that he does, and joined as a guest and said, like, it's weird because we already have the quarterfinal spot locked up, but we really want to win this one tonight.
Oh, no.
And everybody's like, I don't think you do. And then now you might not make it through. And then he got asked about it after the game, and he's like, yeah, I misread those calculations. I misspoke. And everybody was like, he experimented with the rotation. He like was getting cute with the bullpen. And then in the 8th inning, I think somebody got in his ear because he had Kershaw warming up and then immediately took him down and put up Mason Miller. And it's like, oh, we need to shut them down.
Come on, dude.
We might need to talk about that a little bit. That's wild.
Better than that. Jeez Louise. All right, Max is going to call Kevin Saul, get him on the horn. We'll talk a little shockers when we return. It's TJ's birthday. We got our first guess in via YouTube. Keep him coming on his age. We'll be right back.
hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
everybody. Welcome back in here to Sports Daily. Big Paul Brock, TJ Cleveland with you on TJ's birthday. We are glad to be here with you, and we are glad to be joined by Wichita State Athletic Director Kevin Saul on the road to
I'm getting
Birmingham.
Kevin's voicemail, Jacob.
Oh, we got voicemail. So here's what's happening, Max. We'll just keep trying him. Kevin texted during the break. He is on the road to Birmingham. He said his signal will be pretty spotty, so you might have to try him a couple times. Just let us know when you get him. As the Shockers get ready for Birmingham, TJ, and still a ways away from any action. It's Wednesday, and they don't play for 3 more days.
Weird. It's weird. I've been taking in all the conference basketball that I can. Yesterday, I caught the CAA, I believe it was. Siena Saints were playing. The WCC was last night. Gonzaga skated past Santa Clara. Santa Clara's only got 8 losses. They're real good. But I try to take in as many of the championship games as I can, so that way I can say, like, oh, I've seen those guys before.
I saw that Detroit Mercy was playing last night, but I'm
Horizon League.
I had to watch
the neck. Are you aware of the Long Island Sharks, the season they've had so far?
No.
The neck, baby. They are in the tournament for the first time, at least since their rebrand, and it's they are going viral.
The neck. What is the neck?
Northeastern Conference, the NEC.
Okay.
The neck. The Sharks are in, baby.
All right, go Sharks. No, I'm not. I don't typically. I'll watch all the, all the main conference, all the what do we call them now? We've got the Power 4 and the Group of 5.
I'll watch basketball. It's like the Group of 72.
But the football's version of the Group of 5.
Correct.
That's what I'll watch. And then throw in some, whack probably. And that's about as far as I.
There's a wild headline about the whack as well. We'll get into that one in the headlines you might have missed.
All right.
We got Kevin Saul.
I did miss it. All right. We do have Kevin Saul on the road to Birmingham. Kevin, how are you? You ready for March Madness?
Good morning, guys. Doing well. Thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah. So you're headed out to Birmingham now. I assume the team is not headed out to Birmingham yet. Here, still 3 or 4 days away.
They'll go out on tomorrow. We've got a couple of vans going. We've got a small plane going down, so we got a couple of vans that are going down to advance the hotel and get a few things ready.
I was gonna say, I imagine the team is not making the road trip with whatever Willie Nelson on the radio like Kevin Saul's doing for 12 hours on the trip down there. Kevin, we talked to Coach Mills on Monday, and we've spoken about this a little bit. The reformat of the American Conference tournament, it's very pro mid-major to support the top of the conference. Are you a fan of this restructure, I guess?
I am. I actually voted for it when it came up in OD's meetings because we have, since the 3 institutions left the American, we've been a one-bid league, and this is one of the tools that other leagues have used to establish a second bid. It helps protect the top 2 seeds from playing your lower net games and dragging that net down. So I think over time it will earn some dividends for the league, and it's certainly a significant advantage. And in its first year, for us to be able to take advantage of the 2 seed and have a triple bye into the semis is advantageous from a competitive standpoint.
Kevin, did you guys have, as you were being presented this and voting on it, did you have any hard data on historically the leagues that have done this and what the 1 and 2 seed is it typically conducive to protect? I know that's the idea, but does it play out that way? Did you get any data on that?
It actually does. And we looked at significant data. I don't have it in front of me, Jacob, but significant data in terms of cutting the field down. And you look at the seeds, 1 through 13, and what are the 11, 12, and 13 doing over the course of a 10, 12-year stretch? What are the 11 and the 12 doing? And so cutting it down made some sense because I think with the exception of maybe one time, you hadn't had an 11 or a 12 make a quarters or a semi. So they just don't typically go very far because you got to play 4 games. And then you can look at all the data in terms of, like West Coast Conference, I think does this. There's several that do, that advance their first 2 seeds and try to protect those guys. Because at the end of the day, if let's just say your second best team in your league is sitting around a 40 in the net or a 45 in the net, having them play early rounds where they might be playing 150 plus net teams doesn't help them, and it certainly maximizes your league's ability to get a couple bids in the NCAA tournament.
Kevin, you are obviously a part of the American Conference now, but you've been an athletic director at, other conferences elsewhere. It feels like this is going to be maybe the new norm. Do you see college basketball kind of trending this way, especially for the non-Power Fives?
Yeah, I do. This isn't an old concept. That came obviously from an institution that was in the Ohio Valley Conference that was doing that, and we had transitioned into the Missouri Valley Conference my last year and a half there. It's a regular topic of discussion for leagues that aren't doing it, and you don't see a whole lot of leagues that are doing it going back to doing something different.
All right, let's talk about those Shockers, Kevin. They did it. We talked for weeks about the possibility of doing it. They did it. Those last 3 or 4 home games for Shocker fans were nostalgic, felt like the old days. This team has felt like the old days. You've got a coach buzzing. How rewarding has this final month of the season been for you to watch it finally all come to fruition?
Well, it's been fun because it's been joyful for a lot of folks, from our fan base to our coaching staff, our players. It's been a good run. Obviously, we're not done. We got a long ways to go, but the goal is to start describing the new days as the old days, if you will, and to have 4 consecutive largest crowds of the year to finish out the season. Kind of mirrored what happened with the TBT over the summer, guys. We were talking about that in August and September. But at the end of the day, all credit goes to the players and coaches and staff, because they did the work necessary to put themselves in a position. I think our administrative staff did a really nice job with some ticket specials and some promotions to get people in the gym. And it was a really rewarding finish. So you got the number 2 seed. You couldn't have a better competitive road ahead of you for the conference tournament, getting the NCAA tournament, which is the goal and the expectation. And we'll see what we can do with that this week.
You talk about the finish of the season that you guys had attendance-wise. It felt like, at the end of the year there, that was kind of Wichita's, best foot forward, or at least best foot that we've seen in a few years. Maybe not the best foot we've seen what that looked like a decade ago, but it felt like you captured kind of what you were hoping to capture. Would you agree with that assessment?
Well, I think so. The players and the coaches captured that through their play, and we've always said, when the team gets better, when we get more competitive, the market will demand that we get bigger, and that certainly was the case here the last 4 games. We haven't won 20 games, guys, I think since the 19-20 season. So right in that COVID time, and Coach Mills and his staff with 55 wins through 3 seasons. I don't know if you guys saw that stat. Basically ranked 3rd all time among 30 head coaches, 118 years of Shocker basketball, ranked 3rd all time in wins through 3 seasons. And we're not done yet. Obviously, I think it's the most wins since Fogler in the mid 80s. So we're certainly trying to define a new era of success for Shocker basketball.
Well, Kevin, it's coming too, and now, and I know you guys aren't done, but as we look at it, and I think the thing for us that gets exciting too is the prospects of, now what does it mean to recapture that energy? Because you've got a lot of retainable players on this roster. I know you can't talk about this, but there are interested players in coming to Wichita State that have fans excited, but all of it together that, we've talked for years now about the momentum and the potential for Wichita, this community, this school, and this program. And it does feel like we're seeing those beginning steps here.
Well, at the end of the day, I think prior performance predicts future behavior. And Wichita is a community that supports good basketball. And We've seen it time and again through various coaching staffs over the many decades. And at the end of the day, when you can put a really competitive and entertaining product on the floor, which the staff has, it's enjoyable to watch, and you see a lot of momentum there, guys. We'll be launching season ticket renewals on March 24th. We made a decision to do that several weeks ago, thinking that we had an opportunity to finish the season really strong and try to capture and reinforce that momentum. So I think the momentum piece is really important. We do have an opportunity to retain a significant portion of this roster. We will have a very significant bump in our roster resources for next year. And I finally feel like, guys, that we've made up for that first year that was a zero for Wichita State in terms of roster resources and NIL. We've made some significant strides over the last 2 or 3 years. I think this year's number was about 518% higher than it was that first year that we had a little bit of opportunity. And next year's will be a significant percentage jump as well. So that piece is important in today's day and age. And so I think we've got a lot of things that are moving in the right direction. And we think direction determines destination. We feel like we're going in the right direction.
Kevin, we've talked a lot about the roster resource conversation over the years, and it feels like, not to get into specifics, but Wichita State has, aggressively recruited the way that things are trending. It seems like, Wichita State, just to the landscape of college basketball, isn't going to out recruit an entire roster of a big Power 4 blue blood type of school, but are they in a position where they could, win recruiting battles against, the Power 4s, just because, as you put it, you're in the neighborhood? Do you feel like you'll be able to be in the neighborhood of that?
Yeah, TJ, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. I think we can be competitive with a certain range or tier of the Power 4 based on where our number will be next year and where we plan for that number to go in the next 2 or 3 years. And the reason I say that, we covered this when you and I were together last, TJ, is we have a distinct advantage in our league. We're the only non-football playing institution in our league. So we have the opportunity to put resources into basketball that our peer institutions are having to put into their football programs, for their football programs to be successful and relevant. And at the end of the day, in this era, if you expect success, well, you have to invest in that on the front end. There is no chicken and egg scenario for us, guys. If you want success in this era, you have to invest on the front end, maybe even before the success on the floor has shown itself. And that's really been our pathway the last 2 years.
Well, that's what we're all hoping for, Kevin. And before we get into any of that, there's some games to play this year. If the seeding holds through, it's potentially Tulsa and then South Florida again. And boy, we've been provided some gems with those matchups really all across the league. I assume you'd expect, and we expect, a pretty exciting American tournament here for the Shockers in a couple of days.
Well, I think in general, when you look at the regular season, right, any team in our league could beat any team in our league on a given night. You start tracking teams that made up 15 or 15 or 18-point deficits in a game. Against South Florida, I think we were up 13 at one point, then down 15. Had a really great last minute and a half, and got it into overtime and beat them at their place. Beat Tulsa at our place. So we've split with those two programs this year, and I just think you've seen a pretty entertaining. There's a lot of parity in our league. The competitive balance and margin of error is pretty thin in our league. So it should be a really entertaining tournament, guys.
Kevin, we appreciate it. Finish the trip safely. Shocker fans out there, finish the trip safely. Let's get a couple more wins. Let's go dancing next week. See the Shockers in March.
All right, sounds good, guys. March 24th, we'll start renewals, and we start taking new season ticket orders as well, and we'll be hitting that hard to try and capture momentum. So just would encourage Shocker Nation and Wichita to get on board, and we'll have a really entertaining schedule, and we'll continue to improve the way we have the last 3 years. So thanks for having us on the show, and go Shockers.
Keep the train rolling. Know you're headed out to Birmingham in your best Hawaiian. Kevin Saul, Wichita State Athletic Director. Appreciate it. It is. It is. Like, this is the time to strike. And I just absolutely love the way they're playing.
It's such a big deal. He talks about chicken and egg a lot, and obviously they're hand in hand. But like, even the way that they're doing things right now, like talking about unnamed recruit that we're talking about here, in case Kevin Saul's still on the line. Even the transfer portal, whenever they get to that point, like Paul Mills has always had the chip in his corner of like, yeah, like look what I did with Max Asmus. Now he can say like, look what I did with Kenyon Giles. Like, I will give you the freedom to go do. If you can do that, like we will build around you and do things that way. Like that's a big deal.
And to be fair though, like nobody knew Giles was going to be that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Paul Mills has told us they weren't even totally sure Kenyon Giles was going to do this.
Not that, but they knew that
first
they
team
knew,
all conference yesterday. Quick shout out to him.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's conducive because the system they're playing in is conducive to him being able to do that. I don't like. There is going to be a point in all of this if this continues well, where the Shocker, I agree with Kevin Son. I'm very glad that he says this consistently. Wichita State has an advantage. We have said that from the opening salvo of this era of college athletics.
And and to, not redact what I said, but like if they can get to that point, then 100%. Like if you could get the Shockers from a decade ago, then yes, they will be recruiting with the KU. They were the number one team.
Maybe not KU, but
But that conversation, like, and even right now, I think what his point he was saying,
the middle tier of the Big 12.
Correct. Yes. I mean, like where they're at right now, there's no reason like they can win recruiting battles.
Well, there's no reason they can't recruit with Memphis. How about that?
True. But like you can throw out Utah, Colorado, Oklahoma State, like those guys, like you can 100% be in that conversation.
No question.
I was meaning it in the fact of like, are you going to be able to go get a 5-star out of the midst of KU's hands? Like that's my question.
Yeah, well, I think there will be moments in time where they could. There were moments in time where they made Greg Marshall the 5th highest paid coach in college basketball. So the answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. You just have to get back to that. And that's the top of the ladder when you've got that kind of backing. But there's a middle ground between what we've had. And I think this year's retention will be a great test of it. Because if you just told me the Shockers could keep everybody they've got, they're going to be really good next year. Yes, they have to replace Kenyon Giles, but we're looking at 2 young players in TJ Williams and Dylan Battie who are becoming pretty big-time scorers at the same time. Yes, they'll have big-time replacements, but they'll start at center better than a lot of teams, depending on what they can do with the core for. So
talk about roster resources. Like number one thing you need to do is keep a roster together, and that takes roster resources.
And this will be a good year to test it.
And it gets more expensive if you win a conference championship.
That's right. That's why it'll be a good year. But let's win some games before then. The Shockers get going Saturday. We'll have lots more on that game. All right, when we come back, NFL free agency's wild. World Baseball Classic is wild. We've got KU with Shreyas Laddha talk coming. Stick around on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you, Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. It's TJ's birthday. Rick on YouTube guesses 26 as the age for TJ. Can I take my guess now? I don't think it's 26.
It's not 26.
Same age. Pretty sure you're the same age as my oldest nephew. I'm pretty sure it's 25.
Oh, Jacob wins the free HTO.
Yes.
25.
25. That one's easy for me because sometimes I have to think of it that way. That's no big deal. 25. 25's you're getting close. You're getting close to that time where, and you're probably a little ahead of schedule. You're certainly more ahead of schedule than I was, of when you really, I feel like as a guy, become an adult. I think for me, I think it was about 27, and I was a little more resistant to it, perhaps. But it starts to hit you here around this age. But you know, you got to jumpstart on marriage and all that stuff.
This is the one, yeah. I think it was probably last birthday, maybe, or the one before. Probably last birthday was the one where, like, all my buddies from college, it's like, hey man, let's go to Pump tonight. Like, I don't know if I want to do that, man. Like, that sounds like,
yeah,
that's a full day experience. I need a day to recover from that now. I'm old.
Well, that's what got me. It was about 27. I remember the hangovers really starting to have an impact and be like,
I'm still spry enough. I can get out and go, but it's
like worth it. And then
I think I'm at the age now where I can get up and go the next day. But if I drink, a certain amount of rum and Cokes, it's the Coke that's going to get me the next day.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. You can't have soda with that. It's whiskey and water for me, or beer. I guess a vodka soda sometimes. It's been a long time since I've been in an environment like, you know what sounds good? A vodka soda. No, I usually am trying to curb those efforts a little bit in a Bloody Mary in the morning. Yeah, it's happy birthday. It's you're getting there. You'll be there before you know it.
I had my birthday annual birthday celebration that I'm starting yesterday. The greatest hour of my life. You go to outside of the good stuff. If my wife's listening, you go to Chili's, sit up at the bar, just order yourself some chips and salsa and a triple dipper, and turn on the Big 12 tournament. And it was on streaming yesterday, so I brought my own laptop to Chili's at the bar and opened up ESPN Plus. That's how much of a sicko I was.
I did a lot of that, not necessarily birthday. I had one of my very best friends managed a Chili's back home for a long time, and we spent a lot of weekend days at the Chili's bar eating chips and salsa and whatever, and watching games for 9 hours at it. Like, we used to do that all the time. It's so funny that you picked that spot, because I used to do that at your age.
I've learned, and there's parts of me, I think about this because my family owns a restaurant, and so obviously, like, eating out is ingrained in my bones. But I'm such a sucker for going out to eat. Like, it's my number one vice in my life. Like, I'm gonna go bankrupt because I eat out so much. But like, going out and sitting at a restaurant by yourself, like, and working in TV has shown me, like, I do it so much, and there's just nothing better than, like, and I thought about that Joe Flacco thing, but like,
I agree with that.
it is and if you did it every day, probably it'd get a little lonely, I imagine. But like, just to go sit by yourself, not talk to anybody, and just sit there and just eat some food that somebody cooked for you that you don't have to do the dishes for. It's like, man, that's a good hour of my life.
Support all the businesses out there. Go do it. Support them. Go bankrupt. They need it. It's been a rough 18 months. Eat out more often. I fully endorse it. All right. Max Crosby, TJ. This was one I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. I know we've seen trades fall apart at the last minute, but not really like this. So Crosby and the Ravens deal is done. We just get a tweet from the Raiders last night that says the Ravens have informed us they're backing out of the Max Crosby trade. No further comment at this time. We've learned it has something to do with the physical.
Yeah, that's not as notable now that the physical is involved. Like that.
Well, Max's agent, Crosby, says that he continues to be on track in his recovery and is ahead of schedule. This one's odd because everybody's known he's got something going on, right? He didn't play at the end of the year. I'd be stunned if this was actually a surprise for the Ravens. That now maybe they got him in and did an X-ray and are like, "Whoa, that's a real big problem." It's interesting. I'm a Cowboys fan. I would love it because the Cowboys were in it to the last minute and they're saying they're out, but I'm like, don't be. Go.
Yeah.
I look across, and Max Crosby at $30 million next year is a screaming bargain. Trey Hendrickson's going to make way more than 30, I think. And Max Crosby, I don't want to say he's way better than Hendrickson, but he's better than Hendrickson.
Yeah.
He's been as productive as any. If he wasn't playing for the Raiders, he's been as productive as any player thus far through this point of his career. He is a monster. And it immediately now becomes this. Now who's going to be the most aggressive? The Ravens pulled their offer. So, I don't think it's take you 2 firsts anymore. Like, if I'm the Chiefs with extra picks, I don't know how they could free up the money now because they've spent most of it.
There's no money.
I am making that call when I have an extra.
You're gonna
first and an
send. You're
extra
gonna
second
send
next
Max
year.
Power. You'll send Max Power into cardiac arrest if the
Right.
Chiefs. If you're telling the Chiefs
They
are going to
could,
trade,
they
for him.
could do
Because
it and then
this is
restructure.
this
They
is
could
something where Max is correct on and saying that there's no more room, and he's correct.
Well,
in saying
you'd have to restructure Chris Jones, and you'd have to restructure Max Crosby, right? I don't think it's possible either, but there's lots of things that can happen. But if that was not a factor, let's say that they can figure out the money, and I've got an extra first this year and an extra second next year, at minimum, I'd be willing to trade the extra first this year and the extra second next year to bring in Max Crosby.
Yeah,
he is a
I
game
agree.
wrecker.
He is
at a
That's the best
contract
way.
right now that is a discount compared to the market.
Listen,
Look at
I'm not
like Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons. These guys are making $50 million a year. Crosby's going to make 30. He's 40% cheaper.
Yeah.
Now he does have a meniscus, and that's the elephant in the room.
Correct.
Obviously.
Anyways, let's talk about this on a bigger scale, because obviously the Chiefs want every good player, and it'd be awesome if they got them all. The bigger conversation about this is that it's so wild that this is happening, and you brought up that this happens sometimes, but like not to the scale of like a Max Crosby trade. Like that's a big deal that one isn't happening, but it's a big deal most notably because of the ripple effect that this is now going to. Because like the Raiders signed free agents thinking they had that off their books. Like the Cowboys made a trade thinking they weren't able to get Crosby, and nothing is official until like 2:00 today. And so like, I mean, does anything go about this? Like, do the Cowboys go back on their word on their trade and say like, yeah, well, actually we got Max Crosby, so I'm sorry, we're not going to do that anymore. Or do the Raiders not sign their guys because if they have Crosby on their books, like, what do they do? Or do they just dump off Crosby to somebody so they can sign their guys? Like
they're going to have to trade
somebody's going to get a Crosby on sale right now.
That's what I'm saying. The Eagles were in on him. There are a lot of good teams. Max Crosby's going to end up on an awesome team, and the Raiders are going to get far less for him than they would have.
It's so funny that the Raiders, who are trading away like their franchise cornerstone, basically. Like he's the best player on their team by far. And it falls through, and he comes back to Vegas, and they're like, "You got to be kidding me!"
It's a slap. I mean, it's salt on the wound for sure for the Raiders. But I'm serious. Like, what great team would not be interested in adding Crosby? Like, what is the price tag? If Crosby was willing to say this is miserable, I will restructure my deal to help any team trade for me. I'll take all the money next year, and not like if those, and who knows where this goes now because of all the things you just laid out. It's going to get weird. Like, what teams that are good wouldn't be willing to give up a first for Max Crosby? I mean, the Ravens were about to give up 2.
Yep.
Now is the price 1?
How about the 9th pick?
I was just about to ask you that. Would you trade the 9th pick for Max Crosby?
For 1 year?
No, he's on a 3-year deal.
Is there 3 left?
I believe so. Let me double check that.
3 years for we need to know the number.
I'm getting it right now. 3-year, 106. He signed it in March of 25. So you've got him as a free agent in 2030. So you'll have this year, next year for sure.
There's just no money.
And then there's I don't know if it's a player or a team option. There's some sort of option. And then there's 2 more. But it's $30 million and $29 million this year. 39 and 20. I'm just telling you. There ain't a player at 9 that would impact you as much as Max
from a
Crosby.
talent standpoint, it's obvious. Yes, I do that. It's just a matter of like, do you want to trade? This is the way the Chiefs have to think right now, is do you want to trade away the 9th pick? Not because Ruben Bain is going to be better than Max Crosby and maybe never will be as good as Max Crosby, but you get Ruben Bain for $9 million.
Well, okay, that's fine. Again, like this, I don't think you're going to see a non-contender do this.
Oh yeah.
And also, let me also just say for this sake of this argument, it won't cost you pick 9 to do this. It would probably cost you pick 29 and another pick.
Yeah.
But so even if it was 9, even if it was just a straight up, we'll give you pick 9, we'll take Max Crosby. The money is interesting because it's not as much as some of the other edge rushers, which makes him even more attractive. So, like for me, I'll offset the injury risk with the fact that he's going to make $30 million, while the other pass rushers in the league that he is as good or better than are making 50.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's that angle to it.
But the Chiefs ain't getting them either.
If you're the Chiefs, though, and you look at this, you can restructure Jones still. But if you can push it to next year, like Kelsey's there's 12, right? Like there are ways. I don't know, because the Chiefs don't do the dead money thing. I was reading about that yesterday from somebody. Like they don't do a lot of the mechanisms that other teams can do, because my guess would be because they always can just lean into Mahomes' contract. But I'd at least I would be crunching those numbers today if I was Brett Veach. I 100% would. I think the team that should be the most aggressive for his services is Cowboys. If you're really going to push them all in, the Cowboys also have a bunch of picks.
Yeah.
And are more desperate than the Chiefs. I think and they were already there. Max brings up a good point. The Raiders probably
Max Power, not Max Crosby.
Yeah, Max Power.
By the way, the Cowboys are almost $11 million over the cap.
Yeah, but
are they circumventing the cap too, Max?
They have one restructure. The problem is they were already in for Crosby, and they haven't signed. I mean, they've signed a couple players, but nobody that's breaking the bank. And so they had to have had a mechanism in there. This is going to be bad. Max Crosby is a screaming bargain.
The mechanism. The salary cap is such a made-up thing.
I'm glad it is, so that teams have to spend their money. The Raiders are handing out
money
this offseason.
I can't stand. And NBA is no better anymore. The NBA used to be easy to understand, and MLB is always impossible to understand because you can spend whatever you want.
MLB,
the NFL, exactly. In the NFL, it's always just like, yeah, well, they're 15 million over, but they can restructure and they can clear the mechanism.
Only the NHL has a real cap.
Yeah, God, Max Crosby.
God, we should learn how to watch hockey.
Max Crosby on a deal, on a discount. My goodness, what a bombshell in the NFL offseason. All right, we're coming back. We got another hour of Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
TJ Cleveland.
We baked you a birthday cake. If you get a tummy ache and you moan and groan and woe, don't forget we told you so. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
TJ Cleveland.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
TJ Cleveland. TJ Cleveland. TJ Cleveland.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
I am so totally turned on right now I could spit.
I hear ya. Okay.
There it is. Happy birthday, TJ. Another hour of Sports Daily here. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland, Max Power, putting that together for the festivities. TJ forgot to wear his birthday Hawaiian. We'll give him a pass on that since it is his birthday. 869-1240 is the number to call here on KFH. You can get in touch with the program, Facebook, YouTube, X. It's all available for you. We've got Shreyas Laddha coming up this hour. We've got breaking news here. We've got headlines I've missed. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company. Now featuring the Dub event venue at WBC Delano, perfect for graduation parties, receptions, rehearsal dinners, meetings, and reunions. Visit wichitabrew.com to begin your booking at the Dub event venue at WBC Delano, where groups gather. We are getting ready for March Madness, which is a great time to get together and watch some hoops. Want to tell you one more thing here. The Madness, not just on the court, it's taking over downtown Wichita again this year. Did last year too, right? Join KFH for Hoops for Heroes at the 9th Floor Club and venue on March 20th. Midday Madness, buffet lunches to evening madness in the Cloud9 Cigar Lounge. It's the ultimate tournament watch party. Enter the Ultimate Bracket Challenge. 100% of bracket proceeds benefit CanVets United, which supports our local heroes. Get tickets and brackets. Learn how you can be a member for a day at 9th Floor Wichita. It's the old Petroleum Club, 9th Floor Wichita.com, 97.5, 1240 KFH. All right, TJ. Before we get to the headlines I missed, a headline during the break that we've got to talk, at least put out there, and then we can talk about it in the next segment. All that Max Crosby talk, things getting a little fishy, The Ravens signed Trey Hendrickson, 4 years, 112. So he's going to make essentially what Crosby makes, and you get to keep those picks. How interesting.
Who conducted that physical?
This is gonna be so much fun for everybody but the Raiders. God, there's got to be some rule broken here, but nothing's official until today.
I wonder who conducted the physical. That's actually a question. Is that a Ravens doctor or a third party?
Dr. Phil,
maybe. Yeah. Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. If that is a Ravens doctor, like they're gonna get investigated hard.
Oh man, that is and I thought about that when we first see it. I'm like, well, maybe they're just gonna go sign Hendrickson so they can keep their picks. And then you hear the physical stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, wow.
Very interesting.
All right. Before we get into that, we'll do that in the next segment. Shreyas Laddha a little later this hour. Let's take you to the headlines.
All right, Sports Daily fans. Let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, to peel back the curtain a little bit, yesterday in our group chat among KFH members, we told Jacob not to look at the NBA headlines. There's no way that you didn't see this.
There isn't, right? Because I was watching the World Baseball Classic and it kept flashing at me. I really was. I was like, okay, I'm not going to, which is pretty easy for me to do because I'm not perusing NBA headlines. But man, it was all over that bottom line.
They were shoving that one down our throats. Bam got to 83 last night. That is the second most points in a game in NBA history. He made 36 free throws, which is the most in an NBA game in history. He had 43 free throw attempts, the most in NBA history. And he took 22 threes, tied for the third most in a game in NBA history from a center. Well, not from a center. The center took the third most in a game in NBA history. Like, that is unreal.
Was he averaged like 19 a game? I saw
something like that. Yeah.
There's Wilt and Kobe, and
not even now. It's Wilt, Bam, Kobe. He broke Kobe's.
Oh, he passed him. Okay.
What a 60 in the third quarter.
Awesome thing for him though to have that.
It's hilarious and he's like a defensive guy. Like it's hilarious that Bam Adebayo, who's by no means an offensive mastermind, got to 83 points.
Well, yeah, there's Wilt and Kobe and Bam
Adebayo.
What? That's awesome. Yeah, I really tried not to see it, but then it was right in my face because of Team USA.
That's right. We didn't talk about the Cats yet. We'll have to get a little Cats talk in there at some point. But after the game, the one that's actually getting the most headline probably. Well, there's a couple actually. There's some that was said after the game, but most notably Taj Manning in the locker room. Good old Taj. Did you see this one, Jacob?
I did not.
He said
watch post game other than our reporting from Rachel Hallam, which didn't have anything to do with Taj Manning.
He said that he was not a fan of the Big 12 court. He said it was bad. It was slippery. If you want my honest opinion, I don't like it. Why aren't we just playing on hardwood? It's pretty silly. Like the flashing lights and stuff, I guess could be cool for the fans and everything, but it got distracted. It gave Kamari McGriff a migraine because of the flashing lights under the court and the graphics that were happening. It gave him a migraine. He had to sit out at some point during the game because his head was pounding. And he talked about it as well. But that's the first that I've heard of. The court is giving players migraines along
Not
with
the first we've heard of it being slippery, though.
Correct. Yes.
It's been slippery. It's not going to work until they can figure it out, I would assume. You gotta find something that they can, I don't know, spray on it or something that can because we're seeing teams score, we're seeing teams play. It's not like it jumps off the screen at you, but there are little things. So I mean, what do these guys have to lose? Yeah, I'd give us your honest opinion, because if it's cool, but if it's not working, then it doesn't need to be done.
I believe Scott Drew, his thoughts on it is he said, I thought that was awesome. That seems like that's going to be the future. We're going to have a lot of teams. But if it's like that,
they'll figure it out. Look, we're in the beginning stages of this. They've apparently been using it in Europe. They'll figure it out. We'll figure out a way to do it. Maybe they alter a shoe for it, like whatever it is. You want to talk about endless opportunities for the league and for advertising but the thing about it, Jacob,
I don't know how it works in Europe, but one of the main takeaways that I've gotten from this court is that you can't actually use it during game. Like, and obviously you don't want it moving around and stuff, but like you can't even make it look like a basketball court because it's too bright. Like that's why it's gray. Everybody that complains about the gray, you can't make it look like hardwood because it's basically just white lights shining in your face. So if it's black, they aren't shining very bright.
Okay, well that makes sense.
So look, if this becomes the norm, we're gonna see a bunch of black basketball courts.
Beginning stages, we'll get there. It's going to happen.
So.
I
don't think so. I think there'll be enough pushback, especially from what we've seen so far.
In 5 years, we will be playing on these courts in the NBA.
All right, here you go. This one is one of my favorite stories of yesterday. The WAC, not the Western Athletic Conference in Kansas, the Western Athletic Conference of the country, including Tarleton State, all of the crazy people there. Utah Valley is in the WAC.
I was just out there. I literally was just right down.
Yeah,
they're
in St. George, aren't they? Yeah, yes, formerly Dixie State, now Utah Valley. Yep. As of this was a statement from the WAC Board of Directors yesterday at 1:32 p.m. As of this time, okay, hold on, back up. Utah Valley is the 1 seed in the WAC tournament. You need that context. They're about to play the conference tournament. As of this time, hold on, more context. They're the 1 seed. They're leaving the WAC and joining the Big West. That's been announced. Next year, they're joining the Big West. The WAC says, as of this time, Utah Valley University has not complied with a Utah judge's order that directs Utah Valley University to place $1 million in escrow with the court, the amount of their agreed-upon exit fee from the WAC, as the court ordered preliminary injunction is contingent upon that directive, blah, 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 blah. They basically are holding Utah Valley hostage and saying, unless you pay us your $1 million, you're not allowed to play in our conference tournament. As the 1 seed.
I mean, it's a level of spite I'm here for.
That is crazy. They paid it yesterday. I think it's already over with. But, like, they were holding their 1 seed hostage who had the best odds to make the tournament.
Pay the money you agreed to pay.
I agree. You're not going to get out of that. But it's just hilarious. I've never heard of a conference holding a team hostage. It worked within, like, 4 hours. Yeah, it's wild stuff. But that's a headline. That's a headline that you might have missed. Obviously, the Mark DeRosa stuff, it just keeps getting more and more levels. Yesterday, they did like a pregame presser, and DeRosa said, quote, there's some guys dragging today. After the win against Mexico 2 days ago, the coaching staff and players stayed up telling stories and celebrating after the 5-3 victory over Mexico. The team busted and leave the field.
If they don't make it,
it's bad.
Yeah, I'm going to be real
So the video that I'm telling you about of MLB Central of DeRosa saying that he's they already qualified. So MLB.com put up the interview because it's an MLB Network interview. They have since deleted the video off of their website.
To imagine the comment and knowing that they all thought that, so they stayed up late and partied like they were through and didn't take it serious and didn't. I mean, it's a story now. They better hope they get through. And I'm just telling you, if Mexico's in a position to screw them, they're probably going to do it. This will be fascinating. Come on, Vinny. Come on, Cats.
God, we got to figure out how to get Tubi.
Get it done tonight, Italy. Oh my goodness. Better make it.
It's so
I wanna
funny
watch
that it's
USA,
basic.
Japan,
It's
USA,
basically the
Dominican. God.
2024 Royals, basically.
Goodness gracious. All right, we're coming right back. Yeah, we do have to talk K-State. We got to talk more about Max Crosby, Shreyas Laddha to talk KU a little later. It's a busy final hour of Sports Daily. Stick around.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSEW.
Welcome back in, everybody. Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, DJ Cleveland, here with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. You can get out to Crestview right now. They got all kinds of memberships. They've got memberships for young folks, the juniors. They've got memberships now to the South Course exclusively. They've got memberships that don't have anything to do with golf, but just all the great social fun, the pool, the events, the great restaurant and bar, all the different things at Crestview. They have a long list of different ways you can go enjoy the facilities. Great for families. Our family's been out there a long time now. We love it. And I can tell you, I didn't grow up a country club person either. I did not. I was talked into it, didn't know what I'd think, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed it, to be perfectly honest. So give Crestview a call. Tell them we sent you here from Sports Daily. Check it out. See what you think. All right, we come back here. We'll get to the latest on Max Crosby. But first, K-State falls last night. They kept it close for a little bit, and then it just really spiraled out of control. A.J. DeBonsa was fantastic. Rookie record for points in a game for a freshman. Past, I don't know, Kevin Durant, the guy that he reminds me of, that I've said all along. But that's not really what anybody cares about, right? We get the report yesterday. Kellis Robinette said Gene Taylor told him that they hope to have something by this week on a new coach. I read this morning that coaches were told they needed to have their things out of there by Friday. Like,
yes,
it is.
This is an ugly divorce for the Jerome Tang era for sure. It is ready to. They are ready to move on. I don't blame them with the way that the season is gone. Just kind of get it over with, out of sight, out of mind. Get it finished up. The thing that Kellis reported about this week, it is interesting because the end of this week is not March Madness. So are they hiring a coach that didn't make it in the tournament, or is that they hire a coach in embargo until you lose, basically?
Yeah. Well, there's names that's a good question. So Kellis,
the most notable name not going to be in the tournament is Casey Alexander of Belmont.
Correct.
So that makes me wonder if. That makes you wonder. But Scoopsters are saying it's Calhoun from Utah State, but they are going to be going dancing.
They're going to be going dancing. And the other name that's sort of been placed into that top tier, this is, the Eagle and Kellis Robinette has Josh Schertz in there, but that he may not be inclined to leave. I would take him.
Josh Schertz has publicly said no.
I would take him first, but yeah, if he's publicly said no. Of course,
Calhoun is interesting as well because he's a Cincinnati alum, and that job might come open.
Okay.
And so, if you're Calhoun, is that also something to where you're like, I have to wait and see?
Potentially. Calhoun's been the guy seemingly for a long time. He's a guy with a career. He started at Fairmont State, was very, very good there.
That's D2, I think, right?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
And then to Youngstown State, where it took a minute, but ended very strong. And then it's been very good at Utah State. It's the right sort of resume if you're going a completely different direction in style you did with Jerome Tang, because it's a longtime coach, guy who's been doing it a long time, who's had success at every level. He is only 44 years old. He's been a head coach since 2012 and he's only 44 years old. Do some quick math on that. That's crazy. 44 down, 24 years ago, he's a 20-year-old head coach. Is that right?
No.
A 30-year-old head coach.
Golly. You think he's a 20-year-old head coach?
Like even a 30-year-old head coach? That's pretty wild.
That is still impressive.
That's pretty wild. So, young guy, a lot of success. I won't pretend to know what they've been doing right at Utah State. They've just been good. Like, is it a recruiting thing? Like, I don't know. I don't know that it's the most exciting, but that's okay. I think it probably is the direction they'd need to go. If the pipe dream of Underwood is dead and, Schertz, who was probably just a little further along, same time, you catch a young guy now it becomes this question of could K-State keep a coach? Because historically, the answer to that is until they got Jerome Tang, which is a little ironic because they were finally able to keep him and keep the poachers away. And now we have this situation. So I don't know. I mean, Calhoun would be fine. I'm sure he's an incredible coach.
No.
So if that's the top name, then yeah, maybe it's you've got an agreement in place and he finishes out coaching because that's the only way that works. Then you get to Casey Alexander because they're done.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we should read into that. Should we?
I don't know. I mean, it feels notable. I mean, that's what, especially whenever like, and I get people do like think about Schlossnagle is the one that always comes to my mind about like emphatically saying no at press conferences. I am not leaving, and then you leave the next day. Like it happens.
What are they supposed to say?
I agree. Like I don't know what
so Casey Alexander was the longtime coach at Lipscomb, and then went to He's been at Belmont for a minute and been highly successful at Belmont. Never finished below 4th in the Valley.
Was Belmont in the Valley with the Shockers?
No, Belmont didn't join the Missouri. They were in the Ohio Valley. They didn't join the Missouri Valley until like 2022. They're new to the Missouri Valley. But they found success in the Missouri Valley. I would say that, he's 53. I think and he's got ties to Belmont too, by the way. He played at Belmont. He was an assistant, got his career started at Belmont. So there's some of that there too with him. I think Calhoun would probably be ahead of him for me. I mean, sure, you got to make sure to say no. So some reports, I guess, is he's said no thanks. But then Kellis
what was
reports that insiders with knowledge have said that he remains in the mix, but it'll be difficult to get him to leave St. Louis, who may be offering him a big contract extension.
What was the Jeff Goodman back and forth is that he said the top 3 are Schertz, Calhoun, and Alexander. And then Matt Norlander of CBS says Josh Schertz will not be leaving. He plans on staying at St. Louis. He is not in the conversation. And then Jeff Goodman replied and said, you're incorrect. He is still in the conversation, but it's highly unlikely. Okay, well, then what does that mean, Jeff Goodman?
All right. There's also the Creighton assistant who has been coaching at High Point for a couple of years named Alan Huss. Well, no, wait. He was at High Point and now is a Creighton assistant.
Correct.
I had that backwards.
He's the head coach in waiting for McDermott.
Interesting. I don't think they're going to go that road again.
I don't
think they're going to go that road again. But he's a name mentioned. Yeah, we'll see. Ben Jacobson's been brought up. I don't think so. The only thing I would say about Ben Jacobson is that's probably a final job for him. So there is that possibility. I wouldn't be disappointed at it, but look, Calhoun makes the most sense. Calhoun is the most closely tied. I would say it's probably better than even money that Calhoun is the guy. Would be my guess. Because
I would agree.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Does that mean they get it done this week?
You could. Whether it gets done publicly, I think you could do it either way. You could do it publicly. You don't have to. I mean, look, the players all leave after this year anyway. What does it matter if a coach says this is it? Let's make this run together. I mean, Utah State's going to get poached. Who cares? I mean, honestly, at this point, we see it all the time.
At this point, honestly, there's something to be said about, whatever, Ben McCollum route of saying, listen, guys, like, you're going with me. Like, we're going to take this whole thing that we do here, and we're going to go do it in the Big 12. Because that's better than the alternative of just players getting
work,
poached.
By the way. Like, that's not going to work.
It worked for Iowa.
Utah State would probably be, I don't know.
They've got a couple guys.
12.
I agree. They've got a couple guys, though, that are, 20-point scorers.
You could take a couple of guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what is the need to keep a secret anymore?
Yeah.
Like, the players are all they're all going to leave. Like, who cares? And which brings up something else. When we'll talk to Shreyas Laddha about this, Bill Self rumors about him potentially being done, and Flory Badunga already shopping. We got a lot of weird stuff.
That Flory soundbite yesterday is pretty wild.
I love the Flory soundbite. He's not wrong. It's exactly what I said when I heard the first report. We want to call it a report. The first mention of that. It's like, well, yeah, of course his agents are shot. Why? If I had an agent, let me just say this. If I was Flory Badunga and I was paying somebody to be my representative and they weren't actively trying to figure out what the most lucrative thing for me to do was, I would find a new agent. Can I say it that simply?
Yeah.
Of course his agents are going to shop around. That's literally what they get paid to do.
I agree.
That's what coaches' agents get paid to do. That's why we hear coaches rumored for every job and they get raises all the time.
Correct.
Like, of course it is. And I said this, I'll bet anybody right now if Flory Badunga plays college basketball next year, it'll be at KU. Unless Bill Self's not there, which is, I didn't even know that was a thing, but I guess that's a thing. He was asked about it yesterday.
The retirement stuff?
Bill Self and Flory Badunga will both be at KU next year.
There's been a lot of people that think there's a lot of people that think Bill Self is done.
There was a lot of people that have thought a lot of things about Bill Self. People thought he was going to be done because he doesn't like the NIL thing. For 3 years, we've had this conversation.
It's just, I don't know why, why it's picked up so much steam lately, but and now it's picking up a lot of steam because people are like going on the record and saying that this is it.
Because who's gone on the record and said
not on the record? Sorry, the scoopsters are saying
this is why there is a segment called Headlines that I missed, because most of the time this is coming from God knows who.
It's true,
and then like it's the world we live in now. It's fun for us on Sports Talk Radio, but the realities of things are like, who have you actually talked to? Like, again, playing golf with a booster that knows somebody, that's pretty sketchy. And, forever that would have been like, yeah, okay. Now it leads to questions and press conferences, which is the right thing to do. I get it. But we'll talk to Shreyas about that. All right, real quick, the Max Crosby breaker that it happened. Now we're seeing the Ravens sign Trey Hendrickson for essentially the Max Crosby deal. What are the chances that the Ravens have seen the market on Hendrickson and we're like, yo, we could also get Hendrickson for $30 million and keep 2 first-round picks, and immediately saying we have to sabotage this deal right now? Here's the other part of that. If that's the case, which I feel like is pretty likely, did they do anything against the rules? Nothing can become official until today at like 3:00.
I don't know. I guess not.
But have you signed something? How does this work? Are we going to see Tom Brady and who would be the representative from Baltimore get in a fist fight? Ray Lewis over this deal? Like what? I mean,
it feels like it's, I don't know.
The Ravens. Oh my God. Like,
it just sniffs a back alley business. Is that the best way to put it?
Can I say that I think Max Crosby is quite a bit better than Trey Hendrickson?
He is.
I think Hendrickson's good. I think he's really good. And I think he's worth $30 million a year. The Ravens, I don't know. If you're the Ravens, would you rather have Hendrickson and a couple firsts or Max Crosby?
Probably Hendrickson and a couple firsts.
And knowing those couple of firsts are going to be late first-round picks most likely.
Yeah. What picks were they? Like 26, 27, I imagine?
Sure. That's where they always are.
They weren't like 2
Let's call them 20 plus. Let's call them 20 plus.
Yeah. No, I meant years. 2026, 2027. Like they're not in the same draft.
I assume so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know what the Ravens' finances are like, but I imagine they're in a situation that's a lot like the Chiefs, where draft picks are valuable because they're cheap players.
I think I'd rather have Crosby. I think we're downplaying where Crosby ranks right now in pass rusher in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some numbers that are historically good, and he's not that old for that position. And he's on an incredibly friendly contract. I'm not so sure I wouldn't rather have Crosby than Hendrickson in those 2 firsts. And I know that's crazy because they're 2 firsts, and it's not a knock on Hendrickson either. It's just dude, Max Crosby's awesome. And if I'm a contender, and this is weird. I was talking to some Cowboys fans like, you said you don't want a high-paid defensive end because of the Micah Parsons thing. I've been saying forever the Cowboys should trade Micah Parsons. It's like, guys, that's because I don't want to pay $50 million for the and I know Max Crosby has this injury, but that's the only injury history he's got. Micah Parsons has kind of been nicked up forever, and he's 40% more expensive than Max Crosby. He's certainly not 40% better. I'm telling you, everybody should move mountains right now if they think they can get Crosby for less than 2 firsts to try to make that happen. Everybody
I agree, and you can. I'm sure you can. Like, the Raiders don't have room for him anymore. Like,
if I am the Chiefs, and Max brings up a good point about the division thing, but the Raiders are now desperate. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm talking to Chris Jones right now and saying, yo, dude, what can we do? How would you like to play next to Max freaking Crosby?
True.
What can we do to make this happen? You've got Kelsey coming off the books next year, which probably makes all of this a lot easier. You defer that money. You call Max's agent and be like, would he defer? Can we do this and restructure his deal? And I would be willing to give up one of those firsts. And if it's the late first, maybe a second that you acquired in the McDuffie deal. I mean, at that point, if you gave up, how about this? If you gave up the late first and the second you acquired for McDuffie, would you trade McDuffie for Max Crosby? Of course you would. Of course you would trade McDuffie for Max Crosby. Yeah. 1 for 1.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm in this. By the way, we're talking about the Chiefs because we covered the Chiefs. I'd be doing this if I was any contender. I'd be doing this if I was the Rams. I'd be doing this if I was the 49ers. I'd be doing this if I was the Chargers, the Broncos, the Cowboys, like you name them. If they're
let's play this game. Let's play this game. Set the line. When will he be traded? When do we get is it today? Is it tomorrow?
Before the end of this week.
Yes.
And as early as today. Because the Raiders are desperate.
I agree. Like, especially before everything goes official today. Like,
there are going to be the challenge is the moving part nature of this, because now everybody's already allocated a lot of their money. You've got to be ready to take on $30 million, and there's not a lot of teams that are ready to do that. You know, the Ravens obviously just go spend it.
I'm curious. I guess I don't know how football works this way. Is that like, will the Raiders go over with the deals that they put in place? But I imagine so.
If they add Crosby back, probably. But I will also say the Raiders were in danger of being punished by the league for not spending enough money, so they may have had it. That's why they gave Lindenbaum that huge deal.
True. I wonder what happens. Like, do the deals go through if Crosby comes back? Like, is it something to where you have to have it to spend it, or can you just figure it out?
Their other deal? That speaks to their desperation. I mean, honestly, like in how quickly they need.
That's why I'm saying if that's the case, then they're getting it done within the next.
Let me say this:
4
if
hours.
I'm the Chiefs right now, I deal with it later. I call them and I say, "We'll give you 2 seconds, and just see what happens. We'll give you 2 seconds and a third, and let's start the bidding there." Ah, my goodness, what a wild story for a player that is so good. All right, we'll come back. Let's talk to Shreyas Laddha about KU when we return.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSEW.
Go! Sports Daily is on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Shreyas Laddha, KU beat reporter for the KC Star at SHRE 98, here to celebrate TJ's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Shreyas, happy birthday to TJ.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're just getting there. This has been an interesting week since we last talked. We saw KU play a game, and we saw Darren Peterson look the best he's looked in a while. All of that while we now have a couple other side story angles I guess we have to chase with Flory Badunga and Bill Self's future. It's been a little unexpected on some of these, but let's start with the basketball. We'll get to the side stories while we've got you here today. But as far as the basketball, is that the version of K-State that you like? I know they didn't play good enough defense in one of the halves, but the game kind of
K-State?
KU that you like against
Tell
K-State.
us what you think about the now post-mortem Wildcats.
Let's not spend 1 second longer on K-State. But KU playing K-State, I know the defense wasn't all the way there in one of the halves, but at least offensively, how do you feel about that version?
Yeah, I thought they were fantastic. It's hard for me to really make anything of that game, though, because I just watched AJ DeBonza yesterday drop 45 on that same K-State defense. They're just a really bad defense. But I was encouraged by a lot of what I saw from Kansas. Great offensively. Peterson looked as fluid and moved as well. I think I've seen him move as we've seen him move really all year. But overall, pretty encouraged and a good win going into tournament week. You know, you get back on track after losing 2 in Arizona. To win against K-State like that is not an easy feat.
It's not insignificant that they did that inside Allen Fieldhouse. How much stock do you put into games here in this tournament? Because it's not Allen Fieldhouse. Is it Allen Fieldhouse East? You know, is it still considered a home game? Because they haven't really learned how to play away from home outside of, you could say like Texas Tech probably is their best road win. NC State is after that. And then after that, I mean, there's not really a good road win.
Yeah, I mean, I still put a good amount of stock because, I mean, let's be honest, Iowa State fans sometimes outnumber KU fans in that building. And we've seen in recent years, KU hasn't made a deep run of Big 12 tournament the last few years. Obviously, their path has been more difficult the previous years. But this year, I mean, big thing for me is ideally you win the quarterfinals game. And then whatever happens in Houston, you play well. Even if it's a loss, you play well. Versus Houston, sorry. Obviously, there's no guarantee they play Houston or whatever, but I presume that'll be the matchup as semifinals as long as Kansas wins against TCU. But I think it's a positive thing to win a neutral ground, even if it's closer to KC or closer to, Lawrence, just because, we need them to win more games away from Allen Fieldhouse. And I mean, no disrespect to T-Mobile Center, but even with Jayhawks fans in the building, it doesn't feel like Allen Fieldhouse when you're there.
So the more the merrier on games. As far as like how they finish in the tournament, do you care? I mean, we want them. You want them to win the tournament, but it's like just play the most games you can play.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm more so about like how they play in the games they do play. Like ideally you win at least one, and so you don't drop a seed line at like 5 or something. And, maybe you win it all and then you go up to 3. But I think right now with the way they're positioned, they'll probably be a 4 seed if they just win one. The big thing is, can they play alongside Peterson? Do they look fluid on offense? Does the defense carry over, like it did in some games in the regular season? Those things are the things that I'm looking at as like this stuff matters more than anything else.
I feel like you could take that statement you've said and copy and paste it into every single one of your segments since January. We're still talking about the same things. It's the definition of insanity. Were you at the games yesterday, Shreyas? Did I say that you were there?
I just went to the AJ K-State game.
You wanted to watch the Cats. I got it.
That is not why I was there. I met with an NBA scout before the game to talk about the KU roster a little bit and Peterson, but I also wanted to talk to AJ. And just in case you guys didn't know, guys, AJ DeBonza could come back. He yelled at me. He could. He was so obnoxious about it. I was like, internally, I was like, well, I hope Peterson gets picked number 1 overall after this interview. But he was very he was like, guys, like I've said it 3 times already. I don't know why you keep on asking me about it, but I could come back. And I'm like, okay, don't give me this I could come back gimmick, man. You're going to go number 1 or number 2. I hate when these guys do it. It was very.
What if he does?
Well, then
if he does, we're gonna find a way to get DeBonza on the show during the Shreyas segment just to take a dunk on him. That would make me so happy.
Do that. He can do that. But I don't want to hear this gimmick, man.
Dunk.
I don't want to hear this gimmick. Yeah. I don't want to hear.
Anyway, Shreyas, a long way to get to this. What's your thoughts on the glass court? Apparently, K-State said that it gave Kamari McGriff a migraine. A lot. Even the women were talking about how slippery it was and everything like that. Is it going to be a storyline we'll be talking about during a KU game?
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a storyline. What if something happens to Darren Peterson? Like I've been thinking about that as like, is there some level of caution because of the glass court? And DeBonza was asked about it. He was like, it took some while to get used to, but he was like, it wasn't too bad or whatever. But I mean, I feel like at best I've heard indifference about the court. At worst, people are like getting migraines or like not being able to play on the court. So to me, I just feel like this court's not going to be around next year. Like, no disrespect to the Big 12 and your marks, like, big grand thing that he's trying to do. It looks cool, but it's clear to me that, Melvin Council comparing it to Rutgers Park, a concrete court in New York City, so made me a little worried about like how this court really feels. And I think it's gonna be an ongoing storyline. And God forbid something happens to anybody on the Jayhawks, it will be a mess for everyone.
It will be a mess. I don't want to go there. They've played now how many games on it, and it's been okay. Like I guess I haven't thought about that too much, but that is now a concern that I'll be watching anxiously. Let's talk about some of these other storylines. We'll start with Flory Badunga. So it was put out on social last week that Flory Badunga, I don't remember the terminology.
Shopping around. Window shopping.
Bill Self was asked about it yesterday, and I 100%, and I told TJ this earlier. If I was paying an agent to look out for my best interest financially, and they weren't shopping me around right now, if that's the way business is done, and we all know it is, I would fire my agent. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's a big deal to know that of course he is. He better be. Like, it's an agent. That's what they do. They do it with coaches. They do it with players. I don't see a world where Flory Badunga comes back to college, he's not playing for KU and Bill Self, unless the next thing we'll talk about, Bill Self's not back. But but why would Badunga go anywhere else? And the money's going to be there at KU. We know it is.
I don't think he leaves, guys. I talked to people in his camp for like 30 minutes last week before when these rumors came out, and they're pretty definitive about like, we're not even concerned about all this stuff right now. And I asked them about the NBA. They're like, we haven't even hired an NBA certified agent. So like, I think you guys are correct. Whatever's happening is not happening in the purview of Flory or his immediate family. It might be more of an agent thing. And I think you're right. Like, it just makes sense. Obviously, stuff like that should not get out, though. If it's smart, it should not be, agents should not be having conversations where it gets out to the general public or whatever.
That's where the disconnect is that this happens, but it's not supposed to happen where people know about it because of the optics that make it seem like you're doing it because you're unhappy. I don't think there's any world where Flory's unhappy with where he'd be in Lawrence. And we talk about it all the time. If you're a big man, you want to play for the Jayhawks. Like, it's probably one of the best spots in the country that you could play. Other side story is the Bill Self stuff. For the last 3 years, people have been talking about Bill Self retiring. This one, to me, I was telling Jacob, it's been going on for a couple of weeks where like fans are starting to like, this is stupid, but like you see the Bill Self like sappy edits where you're getting sentimental about the good times and people are like really buying into it. And like, it's getting some steam. Like, people are talking about that this could be it. And you're talking about head coach candidates, and he kind of shut that down yesterday.
Yeah, he 100% did. He came out and said, one person says in social media and blows up from there. And he's right. I think it's good. I mean, he did that with Norlander too, the day before in the interview he did. And he talked about how he still loves coaching, still loves all this stuff. He said it doesn't really affect recruiting. And for what it's worth, guys, I don't know. I never really thought this was Bill Self's last year. I always thought the next year would be the last year, after the Stokes, assuming it happens at this point, recruitment happens, etc. But I also just didn't really think, like, unless something drastically changes, like they go on a big tunnel run, or something, I never felt like Bill would just leave before he's satisfied / ready to go. And for what it's worth, I mean, like, I think the rumors that have come out are from written, like, nameless, accounts that I've
Scoopsters. We like to call them Scoopsters on the show.
Yeah. TJ likes to call them Scoopers. I like to call them something else. I 63 years old. He's pulling the top recruits in the country every year. I've never understood, outside of the health aspect of it, which none of us are ever going to know what he's thinking about his health. But outside of the health thing, I just don't know why. Like, a lot of these older coaches retired because they don't like the current landscape of college athletics. I have never gotten the indication that Bill Self doesn't like the current landscape of college. He's lived in this world forever. Like, this doesn't scare him. So I never understand it. Like, what, unless there's something with his heart and medical on the side, which we'll never know anyway, why does this keep coming up?
Yeah, I don't know. And I also think people are just like new shiny object syndrome of like this coach will make us go to the NCAA title every single year because they haven't, done it since 2022, made a deep run. I think people are just stupid, to be honest with you.
It is very stupid.
I'm telling you, it's Chris Kleiman syndrome. We just saw this in football season.
He hasn't won a title since 2022.
Chris Kleiman had 1 year where they won 6 games, and everybody said he's done. You got to get rid of him.
I hope they go ballistic. I hope Darren Peterson goes ballistic. There's a lot of I would love to see a lot of egg on face in a couple of weeks. I'm just gonna say it. Like it
could happen. They have a team built for a deeper run. They have a team built for a deeper run as long as Peterson can carry the offensive load.
Because they have the defense to raise the floor,
Yeah.
right? Like if they don't play well offensively, this team should still give them a good chance because they're so hard to score on when they're playing good defense.
Absolutely. Agreed.
We'll see him
Shreyas,
Thursday night.
Who's going to win the Big 12 tournament?
Probably Arizona. That's my early prediction.
Hot take, Shreyas.
Not a super hot take.
That's why we pay him the big bucks.
I'm going to say I'll take Houston. Houston and KU would play each other, right?
I still think.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll take the winner of Houston KU.
I still think Iowa State. I'll still ride with Iowa State.
That'd be a good spot for them. I mean, they're the most Jekyll and Hyde of all these teams. I could see Iowa State. I could see Texas Tech.
Yeah.
As even hobbled.
Yeah.
Shreyas, hold on. One more question as the outro music plays. Are you as upset as I am that they got bumped from 11:30 a.m. to 9 p.m.?
Honestly, at this point, I'm just used to it. We've had so many 8:30 p.m. games.
It's like 3 years in a row they've had every game at 9 p.m.
I ever
hate
went
it.
to that tournament and didn't deal with KU or KState playing at that last window.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's awful. All right, Shreyas, we'll look for your reports. Follow him at the KC Star. Follow him on X at SHRE98. We'll talk again next week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We'll come right back on Sports Daily. Don't go away.